Let's do a quick story time on how I was able to quantum leap from making like 30K a year to my first six figures in the matter of a few months. So picture this. I am working a job. I'm overworking, okay? I'm working very, very hard in this job that pays me about 30K a year. I'm not really fulfilled by it, and I know that there's better. I know that I want more. I discover the law of assumption, and I immediately start thinking the thoughts that I would think if I had already had my six figures, because I was very clear I wanted six figures. I didn't know exactly how I was going to get the six figures, but I knew this is what I wanted. So my immediate thought, which was, in hindsight, it was me forcing the 3D. I was like, let me start a business. So I started selling candles and oils at these pop-up shops locally around town, and I made money, but it was nowhere near six figures. Girl, it was nowhere near six figures. But I continued to mentally persist. And eventually I got to a point where I low-key had like a little mental breakdown. I just quit my job. I quit the 30K job. So I had $0. I had no money. In fact, I went into debt. So I don't recommend you quit your job. It was very stressful. But I immediately started doing nervous system regulation. I was doing EFT tapping. I had a lot of shame and a lot of guilt around having debt, a huge amount of debt for me at the time. And I was kind of panicked. I was like, I don't know what to do next. But I just EFT tapped through all of those feels, all of those ugly feelings. And I continued to change my thoughts. This is what I would be thinking if I had six figures. Those thoughts were something like, it feels so nice to be able to pay for my own place. At the time I was living with my dad. It feels so good to be able to pay for this car. It feels so good to have more than enough money. I bought my first designer bag. I redecorated my bathroom. And this is where I'm mentally living, okay? Regardless of the fact that your girl was out of money. And when I felt like it was not working, I did this trick where I just totally switched up my routine. I did something out of the ordinary. I walked down a path that I had never walked before. Like literally I went on a walk one day. I took myself to a new side of town another day. I just kind of like switched up my routine just to like kind of change up my vibe, change up my energy. And out of nowhere, I started getting these ideas, these downloads like, oh, I should work in sales. I started doing research on the different types of sales jobs that I could get into. And I came across the job that I work now, which makes me over six figures, and I get to work from home. It is relatively easy work. I mean, not every day is easy, but it's easier than what I was doing before when I was making 30K. And I have amazing benefits, amazing benefits. And I wanted to share this story because at the time it felt like, how is this going to happen? It felt so impossible to basically more than triple my income with no experience, no qualifications. Logically, it didn't make sense, but I had faith. Even when things were going really bad and things were really stressful, I had faith. And I persisted and I trusted that, you know what, hey, I didn't have anything else to lose. There was nothing else to lose. So I continued to persist. And I was like, let's just see what happens. I was just curious, and I observed my thoughts, my fears, my beliefs. And within a couple months, I found the perfect job that made me the six figures. I was able to get my apartment. I was able to, support myself. I was able to have a savings account. I did buy my designer bag. Literally all of the things that I was thinking and that I was visualizing, I was able to get. So if you're trying to manifest something, whether it is a relationship, whether it is money, a new job, whatever it is, be observant of your thoughts, your beliefs, your limits. Just be observant. You don't have to overly identify with that shit because it's not you. And keep persisting mentally in the world where you have what you want. And eventually it will just click. It just will. Just do not give up. Most people fail because they give up. Don't be that person. Just keep going. I hope this inspired you.